Esports turn to pick.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Face the light.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. It's Dire's band now.
Stare your death in the face.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Dire's turn to ban. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant's turn to ban. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant pick. Dire pick.
The undying waits.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Dire's turn to pick.
Enchantress.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant's turn to pick.
Mereska has arrived.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant pick.
Pudge.
Dire pick.
Invoker.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Dire's turn to ban.
Rigi.
10 seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant's turn to ban. It's Radiant's ban now. It's Dire's ban now. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Dire's turn to pick. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant's turn to pick. Ten seconds. 5 seconds left. Choose your hero. Ultimate glory awaits!
Precious weak thing. That's a strange manner of conduct.
Молодец, надо abbreviation.
我哪里猜了呀？标准眼睛乱说，我哪里猜了呀？标准眼睛乱说，好吗？
Seconds to battle!
The crowd pleaser always there. Pudge, Marcy, Ricky. We fell into a different patch. I don't know what's going on.
I have never felt more like a pub game draft than this one. Oh, that got really red. Somebody must have.
Oh no! First blood given up. BetBoom lose their Muerta. Well, that was a bit of a spoiler.
That happens. Oh, the aesthetic though. They're just on camera, like everything just went red while we're talking to you guys.
I feel like that's what happens in your brain every time it's you and Suns fan and he like says something.
Oh
crazy.
yeah, I mean, the lights are red all the time when I'm casting with him, but no, with you it's only situational. Yeah, okay, so to elaborate a little bit on what I was saying, there's a lot of pub favorite heroes here, right? We are going to see the replay at this point of what just transpired.
A lot of pub favorites and one of them right there. Ollie able to get the pullback onto and through the brambles.
Okay, it's one thing to get a Pudge pick and you're like, oh wow, they picked Pudge, and then the immediate response is Ricky. Yeah, that's the other thing for me. It's not just that there was a Pudge, it's that both teams are really going off script here and trying something completely different. It's always fun to see. It feels like when you see a draft like this, you're always it's really high risk, high reward for both. Right. So it's, oh, nice hook.
And that's one that you want to see right away. Finding 23, but can't quite do enough. And exposed from Ollie forces him back. Still a lot of damage onto that Dark Willow. You know, it's interesting because when we saw the Pudge pick, save for a moment, you could see he looked pretty happy, but then the Ricky pick came out and then immediately looked pretty crushed. I'm wondering if they had this intention of picking the Io for a while, and Makoto is kind of an answer to that in a way. It seems like it's going to be a really tough matchup. Oh! Just stand still and then he can TP out.
I think Save just wanted to play Ricky himself.
Okay.
And it got picked by the enemy team, and it was like, oh, that's all I wanted in my TI main stage. I just wanted to play Ricky Pudge. Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. So, to unpack a little bit about the laning stage here, hang on.
He's going to go down.
A
couple more hits.
Yeah.
In trouble, and 23 Savage off to a hot start.
So I would say this is one of Dawnbreaker's absolute worst lane matchups down bottom. The Undying is really hard to play against. And Talon identified how important that is going to be, and they actually ended up putting Q on Enge to solve this. So specifically, one team counterpicked a lane core with a support, and then the other team countered the 5 with a 4. So it's a pretty interesting dynamic that we see very rarely right now, but it shows a very good understanding on both sides of they know how important this Dawnbreaker is from the way Talon is going to play, and therefore both teams are really trying to protect it a lot with the draft. What happened after that, I cannot really explain how that plays into the whole thing with the whole Pudge and the Ricky. I think there's a lot of surprise going on here for both teams. I think Pudge is good against Willow, so perhaps that is a part of the logic here, was that they were expecting a core Willow. But I mean, say that, they're off to a good start. Top on the Willow, Marcy.
Absolutely. And I like this little play that we've been seeing. The dispose into Brim is really fat, so he walked through another one, and they managed to get another kill onto Pure. That is not the way he wanted this to go.
it is a really cool pairing with Willow. Any hero that has displacement abilities is so interesting because you can get people to hit multiple Brambles, right? Bramble Maze is kind of balanced around you getting hit by it once and how much damage it does. So if you have a hero that can force the enemy team to get hit by 2 or even 3, suddenly this hero is just one of the strongest laners in all of Dota, right? Bramble Maze level 1 does how much damage is it on 1? Like, I want to say, let's say 150 or whatever. You get 3 of those, that's kind of a done deal.
No, it's dangerous for sure. And the other thing that we can sort of keep in mind, it was talked about, and I think that they showed this little graphic too at the beginning. This is the first time that they're playing Undying on BetBoom this entire tournament as well. So a little bit of a change just in style in general for them. We'll see if they're going to be able to contend with that Enchantress on Q and all the creeps that they're going to be throwing his way.
And he's definitely going to feel comfortable with the hero itself. I would say this was probably Toronto Tokyo's single best hero last patch, before some of the changes after.
Again, though, they kept him.
He's strong this time, though.
Yeah.
Lesson for you.
Save pops the salve, but that does create some issues.
2 bracers, overcharge. Hard to kill.
Big boy.
Okay.
Big boy finds a hook. Nothing else.
Yeah.
3-0 start, but going to be an interesting match as it does feel like after...
On bottom.
Oh, can they go on him? Tokyo wants to chase. The pushback, that's a good one with Deadshot. The Celestial Hammer means Jabs gets away. And of course, this is going to happen if Enchantress leaves the lane for any amount of time.
It did cost them the Tombstone, though. So Jabs is going to have a little moment of opportunity here. Maybe they'll make an aggressive move with the Edge coming in. Oh, he's put the mana burn creep. Just going to make Toronto Tokyo basically useless until he goes back to base here. Has burned him down to 50 mana. Undying with no mana is just nothing, you know? It's a melee support that's kind of slow.
Dude has Windlace.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
Gonna be curious to see what he chooses to do now on the Undying if he's gonna go back to base. He's sending out 1 Clarity, a Raindrop, and a Blood Grenade. So it's gonna take him quite a bit of time to get his mana back up with just a Clarity, no Mangoes.
Meantime, the movement in towards mid to try and see if they can hunt a GPK. Brought 3 heroes total with Makoto in tow.
Yeah, they have the Purge Creep.
Radiant are scanning.
Good one. They
How does
get
that even
an
work?
angle. I mean, GBK knows that this is happening. The 6-minute mark, runes are coming out. Does look like it's going to spawn top with an illusion. And a good job by the Invoker to stay pretty far back.
Yeah, played it very safe there, as he should.
Nothing gained out of that
Guys,
movement
put
yet.
your herd on
They are
Radiant's
still
middle.
hanging around that area, though. And instead, the
Radiant
wraparound is going up
scanning
top.
enemies.
Kodo
Yeah,
spots
this one's going to be
save.
less expected, I think. Diving this tier 1 tower this early.
Oh, and then pulls it back into the cloud. That's really nice. Didn't quite get the Bramble connection, but Save trying to escape needs another hit. Like Savage in very far, and now Pure right on top of him. Trying to buy some time. The hook, it does land. 23 gets lifted up. Nice tornado, and all the ults are gonna fall.
Thanks for playing.
GPK with the clutch rotation is down bottom. They're chasing Jabs. Tombstone on him. Starbreaker hits. Jabs wanting to make his way through the gate to escape, still has stick charges. As they pull him back in with the fear, Jabs, hammer, jumps away. Does he get out of there? 18 HP and he's out. Oh no, never mind. He got Pat.
I'm not quite sure what Nightfall was going for, deadshotting him there. Maybe he feels like it's the last opportunity he's going to get to reliably hit it before the Celestial Hammer gets in the way. But ideally you want to hit that afterwards, right? So you can just fear him back into you when he's dipping out. It ended up working with the decay, but that was pretty close. Still, it's a big kill for them, and I want to say overall in quite a few of BetBoom's games as of late, GPK has not necessarily been up to the hottest of starts. This is a good one for him, so the Invoker having a great start.
He shows up and Pure didn't stand a chance. They brought in a lot of people for that kill, and Save trying to escape. Throw out the Terrorize, he's still running that direction. So that won't actually help, but nonetheless.
Dire's middle tower is under
Kodo
attack.
tricks the trade. No, didn't hold snap there. I'm sure that he couldn't dodge it. No mana now on the Ricky.
I think he wanted to show them that he can hit it.
Okay.
It's a mental play for later. If they're ever like, oh, I'm hearing Terrorize, they know it's coming and they know it's a hit. And it's about whether it matters or not. Different story. That one did not matter.
Oh, it's a similar idea for the hooks as Pure throws one out there on the 23rd.
Now, this doesn't send the same message. If you throw out a hook and miss that, that does not work the same as throwing out a Terrorize that hits and doesn't kill him.
to be fair, is playing around this ward, which has gotten them a lot of value. I think that's 2 hooks now that have been dodged because of it.
Yeah, it's a very standard thing to do against side lane Pudge is to get that vision. You could argue that BetBoom should be checking for this with a sentry. I think that would be a quite decent investment with the side lane and how this has been played so far. But if nothing else, the farm is still looking okay for Pure. He has 3 deaths, but his net worth is still looking relatively healthy. He's still ahead of the Dawnbreaker, right? To start, and as we mentioned, the Invoker mid is the big breadwinner right now. Rushing a Vessel is going to be GPK. He has it in 100 gold. And there's some decent Vessel kill targets here, right? You're countering the lifesteal of Marcy's sidekick, you're countering the heal of Ench, and you're countering the heal of Luminosity, the Dawnbreaker. So all of these little things that sometimes make a bigger difference than you would think are going to make a very small one now.
That much less strong against the fighting that's in this direction. There was a courier kill a while ago on save, which is why he wasn't able to do too much there as far as bringing out wards, I think. But Pure is making the move through after stacking up and taking that other hard camp. Already has phase boots done and looking for an opening. Kodo is down bottom, does see all of this play, and with 4 heroes.
Radiant's top
Decide to
tower's
bring
under
numbers. They're
attack.
going to TP in 1. Cloud down, interrupting their fight. Now the Dawnbreaker ult coming in. Jabs wanting to get on to Nightfall. No follow-up. Still good AoE damage. The dead shot. Ooh, almost into the hook. Instead, it's Toronto Tokyo that's held behind.
That is honestly a really good result for
Radiant's top
BetBoom.
tower's under attack.
When Ricky has that good of a placement, he gets all the information possible and starts off with a swim screen. The Brambles just have to hit there, right?
Yeah.
From 23, and he missed on all of the potential targets, so they got to disengage. That could have gotten really, really scary for BetBoom. So I would say, given the circumstances, I would count that as a win, only losing your 5 there.
The Midas tracker, at least in this game, so far is only going to be at 1 for the Willow, which I feel like it fits pretty well with what you want to be doing. Ollie, in the meantime, does need to back out. No mana and had rebound on cooldown.
Tower is under attack.
It's funny because usually, you know, at a tournament like TI, when the meta develops and teams get used to certain things, when you throw a complete curveball like this, I'm very curious to see how BetBoom just adjusts to playing against just Ricky in general. Like, let's say everything in the game is the same as always, but now there's a Ricky. The style of play is just so different, and when Mikoto's off the map on this hero compared to what he usually plays, the dynamic is
Radiant's
just,
bottom tower's still there.
you know, you're kind of getting paranoid, you know how you're going to place your heroes. Again, their Midases are just slowly but steadily starting to build toward these key items. That's the nullifier. That's a big one. So Mikoto now effectively can just kill Io, and there's no solution except grab ally.
Oh, there you go.
I think Toronto.
Wait, can he target it?
Should be able to.
Okay, or he can hop in, but we'll see.
Dire is scanning for enemies.
I'd be very surprised if he can't just save him there.
You're waiting. Warpine Raider got him.
Oh,
He's just practicing.
he's just standing still.
Knows they're over here, and now a smoke coming from BetBoom.
Big.
But then the jump from Ollie. Turns. Finds one, but it's not on the IO. Nonetheless, they did manage to kill off the Pudge. Then for a minute, BetBoom, what do you have left in the tank?
And they even did a pretty good save there. That was a very quick tombstone save onto the Pudge, but they're just destroying the tombstone with the support Marcio.
Odo away from the rest of his team. The Dawn, oh, it comes down. He's able to jump away. 3-shot. Nightfall just evaporated one. Now Feared in trouble. Has to back out of there. Even disposing to try and get a little bit extra separation. All right, Nightfall hits hard. Free Savage gonna get caught by the decay. Low on mana. They get some vision. Makoto trying to find the backline. Didn't get the kill him off. Yes! They take down the Muerta. Can they get any more? Toronto, Tokyo, they run to 23 Savage and the relocate gets them out. GPK found, they run right into him, but nothing left in the tank to break the TP.
That is such an unexpected kill for Nightfall, though. Ench and Ricky just combining. He was next to his IO and still couldn't be saved. What a fight. It's really well done with the Ench. Massive burst of damage together with Ricky is enough to take out Muerta. With no ulti in the tank and no BKB, you are a very vulnerable hero in situations like these. And I don't really blame him for feeling relatively confident there. He's next to his IO, thinks he can probably get reload out, but the kill's just too quick.
Yeah, I mean, it does show, as you're going to see in a moment, 2,600 damage done in just a second on the jabs. Bang, 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 bang. It's gone. I mean, that's got to worry you a little bit if you're Talon, right? Or do you think that they're still okay after getting the Aegis?
I mean, it's definitely worrisome if Muerta gets to just play into them, but the good news is they have relatively good mobility, right?
Yeah.
Talked about how it's hard for Muerta to target the Willow. Willow now has level 20 talent, which is the big one, and Octarine. So we're going to see the end of this kill here. Yeah, if they had anything with GPK, they would. But yeah, Willow is going to be a hard target for Muerta. Ricky is going to be a hard target for Muerta. So yeah, she's going to obliterate jabs. There's no doubt about that. But what about the secondaries? Can you kill the Ench is the other question, right? Ench has pretty good repositioning with the Sprite, with the Pike. She can get out of trouble.
The other thing to watch for, I'm thinking about here, is going to be this blade mill. Only one in the game, believe it or not. Currently on the Dawnbreaker. And you think about what happened earlier, if that goes on again, Muerta might just blow herself up. Very little survivability on this hero.
You've got to be careful with how you interact with that. Obviously, you're going to have some extra layer of protection with the healing, BKB, but only still. Could be a bit of an X factor if things play out the way that they... I mean, we've seen a couple of previous Dawnbreaker kills where Muerta did drop to like half, right? So it is definitely a concern if the BKB and protection isn't there for the supports.
And it has a sort of similar feeling to last game, doesn't it? That you get these big fights, the only objective that's being secured is Roche.
This classic Talon late game feeling. Guys, we're just going to go super late with our classic core combination of Ricky and Willow. when I think Talon late game, I think Spectre.
Right.
Not this. So I also wonder how experienced they are themselves at playing these heroes at the 60-minute mark, which I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but, you know, just judging from how these games have been so far, I think it's relatively likely we'll get there. I think for both teams, it's kind of uncharted territory, right? Like, playing against a Riki an hour into the game, how often do you do that? Oh, GPK just barely getting off the ghost walk there.
Man. It was, it would have been a little bit scary if they've been able to quite connect
Radiant's
onto
bottom
that one.
tower is under attack.
The artillery has arrived, so it begins. Dark Willow with a bajillion attack range, sidekick, and with a very low downtime on Shadow Realm.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Cooldown 9 seconds, duration 7.
Decided to look it up while you were asking. 5 competitive games on Riki from what I can see on Makoto. Last one in 2021, unless there's something I'm missing here. But Fjord jumps in and finds jabs right away. Nightfall in tow and now turning on to Makoto. Heal coming out, trying to keep Save alive. It's not going to happen, and Nightfall just going to go for the BKB TP out.
Good trade for BetBoom. They kill a core for support, and they force full-on rotation from all of Talon's heroes. So, gotta give them some time to push out the waves and get the map back under control. GPK will spend this time trying to complete this hex. What? Okay, he's using gem here, so be aware of the circumstances.
Stibby, I mean, that's the thing is, like, obviously late game Dota becomes also just this battle of
Dire
vision.
scanning for enemies.
Carrying the gem, making sure you're not underneath a ward. All the more important when there's a Riki in the game.
23.
He may have gotten himself stuck somewhere.
He piked himself up to the high ground, but fortunately his hero can just bramble maze the camp, and then it runs over and he can hit it from 1,000 range.
Very good.
So the new generation of Nature's Prophet cliff farming is in town.
Take notes, everybody.
And the difference is you can't do it from level 1 on Dark Willow. You do need 20,000 net worth. But then it's great. Actually, maybe you can do it. No, you need a way to get on the cliff.
Right,
And
exactly.
you can actually farm from it.
Or Bramble is good as Prophet. Level 1 cliff jump it, for sure. Is there even anywhere you can do it anymore? I guess over on, like, the Radiant side off lane. Oh, wait, this somewhere over there.
Yeah, I suppose maybe. Don't give them ideas.
Sorry, my bad. 38 minutes in. That tier 4 neutral items are coming out. BetBoom, having already got a trick circle. Yo, that'll be pretty nifty, helpful. But it really does feel like if anybody wants to push the tempo right now, it's going to have to be BetBoom. Talon are very, very happy sitting back farming. He'll go on the cliff again. Don't think he won't. See, he's still very even in terms of the Dota Plus win probability.
So he can break the linkage anyway when he goes in. But I guess when you're already bought the recipe for the linkage, you're not really going to change your mind.
Not even a little.
You're committed.
Pretty hopeful. I mean, I think that, again, anything to make the fights more complicated for BetBoom, because there's, you know, 3 different heroes that deal massive amounts of damage really quickly in the Ench, the Willow, and the Riki. Having somebody that can just kind of stand there and nothing can deal with them, I think that's really helpful for Jabs. Front line. This guard is now completed.
I actually wonder if he should buy a heart. I don't even think that's a bad idea here on the Dawn, because, yeah, usually Dawn wants to scale in terms of physical damage output, right, become a real threat late game, but since you have the Edge doing so much damage from the support position, maybe you can just become, like you said, just a full-on frontline tank.
Blade Mail Heart,
take all that damage. It's just not a classic Dawn build. That's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of other heroes, so it's just a no-brainer. Oh, you're playing Primal. Oh, wow, he went Blade Mail Heart. How innovative. But on this hero, it's actually pretty rare because you want to get value out of the Starbreaker. But at the very least with a heart, it also does give you some damage, right? Strength is still valuable. Well, we'll see.
I'm also seeing here, you know, something that you don't often notice is the Undying at 10K network. So he's already got the Boots of Bearing and the Solar Crest.
Yeah,
I don't know if
he's getting there.
He'll accelerate into that much more. Something to watch for. But it literally has just been hanging out mid, you know, farming out the entire side of the map that they're on. There is a refresher that's now completed on Huerta. So a second salvo in these fights cause some issues for Talon if they can get to that moment.
Yeah, Nightfall's actually relatively close to being maxed out here, right? There's not that much more he wants to replace. Maybe the treads for a Swift Blink or something like that, but definitely has what he wants to fight.
Together, Buddy heading to the same area where they know Roche
Dire's
could
middle
respawn
tower is under
soon.
attack.
Oh, they're moving right into position. Q is going to be the first point of contact. Get over it! Oh, jump hook! Not a
time!
Wow.
Immediately off guard.
23 Savage is kind of in no man's land here, too. The tornado is actually going to hit him. Makoto looking for a backline to jump at, and BKB, they chase forward, want to find the kill onto him, and meanwhile, they go for the Dawnbreaker ultimate. Ends up pulling himself away. Dying is gone. Can they get any more? Ollie's starting to fall. Nightfall chasing a couple more hits. It's enough. Sunstrike follow-up. 23 Savage is in trouble. You're caught him with that one. Makoto trying to find another target, but he's not able to bring down GPK. The sprite away. 23 Savage still living through this. Goes back into the Shadow Realm. Is actually living through it. The Hurricane Pike in the separation. Gets out of there. Talon are somehow making this fight work for themselves. As Save is chased, Save is gone. There will be no relocate out of this. Can they find any more? It doesn't quite look like it. How did that go so well for Talon?
Radiant's top tower ain't looking too
As soon as Pierce the
steady.
Veil is down, I don't know if they have the burst damage to kill this Willow in the 2-second windows that they're getting.
Yeah.
Which isn't even anymore because you got Spell Prism. So he is in Shadow Realm 90% of the fight. Shadow Realm is 7 seconds duration and 7.9 second cooldown. So the moments of opportunity are just so small. You're going to see it here, right? So just notice how little time they have.
Yeah, it's okay. And I mean, I do kind of wonder, like, what's the job here of, does Pure just need to jump onto her and just sort of stay on target? Because it feels like there needs to be some way to sort of force 23 Savage into a weird position.
I mean, he's trying.
Dead. I know, it's true. It's tough, though.
Scanning for
Yeah,
enemies.
he somehow got Shadow Realm off while dismembered there, right? That must have happened at the exact same time.
Never seen that before.
Crazy scenes.
Roche will be claimed.
We're going to give the axe. Makoto is a candidate here. He will not get it. They will put it on jabs. So that will be improved Solar Guardian that gives evasion. Wow. And that is a pretty strong axe in this game, right? It's a lot of just that additional duration. First of all, there's a couple of things happening when you have this. You give the targets in the ring 60% evasion for the entirety of the time you're flying. You get to fly for 3.5 seconds extra, and you can stop it whenever you want. So if you ever need a BKB piercing stun on demand, there it is. And if you ever need to save cores or supports against right clicks, there it is. So that's a bit of a problem for BetBoom that they're going to have to deal with now. Ricky almost finishing off the disperser here. And do we have anything big coming on the side of BetBoom? Poker will finish Octarine Core, so that's obviously a good one. Refresher is being built by Pure.
Illusion.
Yeah, I honestly think you're right. I think Pure's primary job in the game right now is to just sit in front of Muerta all fight.
It is so hard, though, like you're saying. Like, how do you even get there? I mean, to actually find 23 Savage. Because if they don't get on him, I mean, we've seen what will happen. Even when Q died at the start of that fight, it felt like it should have been a solid one. It just did not work out.
Scanning for enemies.
Well, he might run into some people here. You have the vision. Spot him. Do you want to go on the pledge right at the start? Good reactions to get away. Another situation and moment where it feels like we're on a knife's edge. It could go either team's direction. Dota Plus, very little separating these two teams at 45 minutes, and oftentimes what can end up making the difference is just one fight. Of course, the IBAC status that comes out after.
The big hero of this game is Muerta. She's either going to make the game-winning fight, or she's going to get caught off guard one time, die, and the fight collapses. BetBoom do not have enough damage with Nightfall out of ulti or dead. So there's so much riding on them getting value out of this refresher orb and these two back-to-back Pierce the Veils, which is, a grand total of 16 seconds of damage. It's quite a long time. But we've seen from Talon that they've got this really good lineup for just kiting. The Riki kites away, the Marcy can jump away, the Willow is... Now Willow also has Wind Waker, so she can save another target at this point.
Or herself. I mean, either way.
Not sure she's going to do it herself, to be honest, with how it's gone so far. Here comes the artillery, long range. Nice hold.
They get it, a freebie.
Oh, that's the Aegis out the window for nothing.
Did they get anything else? Terrorized, waiting for the right moment. BKB finds him, immediately bitten, but the Dawnbreaker ultimate, it's healing Makoto so much. He'll just get away for free, but the Jab's not going to be so lucky. Managed to get one out of that along with the Aegis. And the Talon learned the mantra just another time, never go high ground. Ever. It's not a good thing to do. It's not a good place to be.
I think they learned a second mantra too. Riki is not a frontline.
No.
Did you know?
He died very quickly.
That's just honestly just a bit of a blunder there for Makoto. Like, he does not need to be in front of the tower for any reason there. They're safely sieging it from very far away with the Willow. If 23 somehow gets hooked, he can instantly Wind Waker and fly out of the base and then have his Shadow Realm again. So risk reward, I don't think Riki had a reason to be there. And Pure, he's not gonna let that one slip away. Immediately identifies the blunder and maximum punish, right? Aegis down, secondary kill on the Dawn. So very, very good defense from him. Hook on
Dreams in Toronto, Tokyo.
Oh, see, actually. Is it like my farm? Then he missed.
You just gotta let people know.
Yeah, Marta has attack speed, I'll tell you.
Dire's middle
Getting
tower's
very stacked up, and now the evasion not even going to be as effective with MKB completed.
Yep. Still a nice reason for the Axe, right? Like, just putting that on Dawn kind of forced Nightfall's hand. This is an item he didn't want to have.
Yeah.
So it means there's another value item in his inventory now that is not a possibility just from that Axe pickup.
Marcin has Basher completed, almost level 20. Again, we have to keep our eyes on these supports, quote unquote.
Absolutely.
And Enchantress at 20,000 net worth right now. It's worth noting that Makoto has, in a way, fallen off a little bit relative to where he was, and Q has taken up that space.
Yeah.
But still both very dangerous heroes as the refreshers completed for Pudge.
The level 20 Talon on Marcy will be the 50% unleashment speed, so it'll be a lot stickier. Fights.
Still down mid, Makoto. Be looking to eye somebody up there, but
Radiant are scanning
save
enemies.
behind him. Very difficult to get any type of meaningful kill. Now wards drop down, they see everything. Talon, do they want to go for the all-in play? Jump, finds him, immediately BKB force staff gets out of trouble. That was the reaction they needed, and you can see Japs immediately gets out of trouble.
If Makoto has an Abyssal there, that's a kill. It's the fact that Talon don't have any instant stun. So you're actually relatively safe as long as your reactions are in order. Just get out of there. So Nightfall, not gonna panic. He's just gonna press the buttons he needs to, get away, reset. If Riki does go the Basher route, that becomes really interesting with his ability to lock down the initial target, but it doesn't seem like that's the plan. Currently eyeing up a Linken's. Again, another hero wanting to buy Linken's against Pure's Pudge.
Yeah.
He's doing so much work this game on that very uncharacteristic hero. Not for him, but for the tournament.
Well, and the other thing that we might end up seeing eventually is 23 Savage throwing out one of those terrorizes on the Muerta right away, because if she doesn't have her way to get out of there, you've still got to deal with the Riki shenanigans. So that could be something to watch for also. Not easy to get all those things together in perfect concert. It's really rough. As we are now eclipsing the 50-minute mark. And next Roche.
Just goodbye Hex. He has the gold for it.
Nice.
But is holding on to it for now. I don't know if this is a commitment from him or if he's still judging whether this is the right idea. Because you could also look at it from the perspective of, okay, like we said, there's the option of the frontline build, there's an option for, a standard like, let's say, AC or whatever, but it doesn't feel that great against Muerta, right? So you're probably not buying that one. So maybe the utility path is just what he's going to go for. I think Refresher is honestly a kind of interesting idea too, right? When you think of how this game is played, he ultis in, the enemy team has to reset away, he can then immediately upon landing, he can blink out and just ulti again. And you're effectively negating a lot of the presence of the Muerta in the fight. Despite having MKB, you always have to thread this. You have to tread carefully because you could get BKB stunned, right? By the Donald at any point. So if that ring is just over you, it's kind of difficult to deal with. He will opt for the Hex first and foremost. But now Refresher feels really nice too. You don't have mana problem with this side, and Link has mana reaches through the root.
I don't know if you ever get rid of Blade Mail there either, but maybe eventually if you get our
I think you probably do now.
Yeah.
As the next item. Get rid of that Blade Mail, get the Refresher, or... Yeah.
Ooh, nope, not gonna go for it. Savage. All right, so check it out. He's also covering his Shadow Realm now with the Wind Waker.
Yeah. Yeah, toward the end of your Shadow Realm, you Wind Waker yourself, you can Shadow Realm again. Effectively untargetable for 17 seconds straight.
And Wind Waker is an 8.6 second cooldown.
Or
finds one. He gets onto him, but I don't think you're doing anything to this Dark Willow who's hitting Ancients at the moment. The rest of BetBoom trying back away. Honestly, what the hell do you do against this Dark Willow? This is insanity. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I guess just stay on top of her, but like you got this thing too. The Wind Waker gets her out of there.
I mean, eventually a hero like Invoker can be pretty good because he has ground damage that he can land with a combo. If he catches her in a Hex and he just blasts everything, maybe you get Ags plus Refresher as well for that Cataclysm combo next to Pudge. There's gonna be options. It's obviously super annoying to do with, and there's a reason this hero has become popular at the latest stage of the tournament after. I want to say primarily Shiro has had the success with it. It's not a new idea per se for these teams that it just came out of nowhere. They knew at pubs that this would thing.
Yeah. Sending out the Forged Spirits. Jab the Forged Spirits front and center. They also send in the little creeps from Enchantress. At least for now, it's a stare down across the Roche pit area. Interestingly enough, we're going to get pretty close to Roche switching sides in the midst of this fight.
True.
Something BetBoom need to be wary of.
And honestly, something really important for Talon this game is that they have the only, right? I say that there is an IO, so I guess you can consider relocate. The problem is, if you're, let's say you're split pushing a lane with Invoker and IO, right? And they relocate to the fight, you're on a timer to win that fight, or IO will have to be forced to leave, and it can get really awkward. Donald is always just going to, just farm wherever he wants. He can take care of the dangerous lane, just throw a hammer and go to the fog. So in this standoff, BetBoom are never going to threaten high ground. Don will always solve it. You don't have to worry about that aspect.
That's on him. Shot pushes out. In all of the craziness that we've been seeing, this is still no Aghanim Scepter on GPK. He's been waiting the entire time to try and get it from Roche. Queued up the Refresher. Steps forward, Bedlam out. They run into anybody. Pure is in an interesting position right there. As Forge Spirit on Enchantress Creep, and Q is actually TPing top. They're anticipating that it's going to be up on the top side. It's actually going to spawn here early. If BetBoom realize this, they can take Roche very quickly with Muerta.
They might actually kill it.
But no, instead they're going top. Okay, they're trying to preempt it. Position. Have vision down. Makoto, does he step within sentry range? He's right there. They see him. Ooh, just a little difference away from there. White gonna fall into range.
BetBoom with a clear positional advantage here, though, getting through the cage into the high ground.
Makoto, they got him! Disarm! Chase him! Can they get any more? The Hex! Oh, he can join Roche! That's through two! Nightfall! That one's a chase. Pure looking right on top of one. 23 Savage. Going for the Wind Waker, walk away. Now Refresh onto Nightfall, wants to chase. Jabs is there. That's the buyback and the run into the fight. Oh, hook. That would have been a nice one to get, but
I don't know if that would have been good for him. I'm not sure.
I mean, Nightfall still does have the reinitiation if he wants it. Has Pierce the Veil and BKB ready. Toronto Tokyo gets hit. Bill backs away. He's rooted. The jump ball, oh my god! We're on the line of allies! There's nothing! The buyback, it comes out. They gotta retreat though. BetBoom need to wait and buy time for the rest of their team to get up close and
Radiant's
personal.
courier has been
They
killed.
blink back after
That's
eating
right.
one. Toronto Tokyo gonna TP to the outpost. It's a long outpost TP though! Toronto Tokyo! It's gonna get caught. He couldn't grab his ally. Oh man. Oh jeez. Yeah,
They're going to give it up. Yep, absolutely. They don't have the positional advantage anymore. They don't have where to buy back. Dying up there is the end of the game. They will give Talon an advantage here. Refresher shard now. Do you put it on the Dawn or do you put it on the Ricky? Question. Ricky having his items twice over is really powerful here.
It's like they're playing on jabs. I just think back to what could have been in that moment. Again, obviously, no way to know. But if BetBoom had been in the Roche pit, they could have taken that Roshan time.
Yeah. But it's understandable, right? You just,
of course.
Strictly from an odds perspective, right? Even if they go on the Roche there, they don't know for a fact that Talon have left. So it's like, it's a 20-second window. You could have gone in Muerta, ulted it, and killed it. But in case you do get jumped in there when Muerta's ulting, it's really bad news. So
Radiant's
such a difficult decision to make just off the nature of the clock. Like, if that was 20 seconds longer,
Yeah.
it would have been so easy for BetBoom to make the right call.
Here couldn't quite catch Q. I mean, the ironic thing is that, you know, it's Talon stepping up high ground again. Do they really want to push or do they want to wait for their 60-minute items? They're going to start to hit, but it's not easy going high ground against this. And yeah, the Wind Waker away. The first tier 3 tower taken in the game. 57.5 minutes. Holy damage. Fairly sparse. Ah! Mission. Yeah. Backs away. Tornado. And another hook. Not quite on the mark. So much. Again, it feels like they should be around here to push, but it is not easy to push at all.
Nope.
Getting the rain tracks very far.
Almost got it there.
Wind Waker to walk away, and now the hook. They find Makoto. That's what they needed right away. He's dropping low, but gets out with the cheese. Nicely played. Dawnbreaker ultimate comes through. Jabs eases far, and it's going to be procced. Pure looking for his moment. Dodges from that terrorize. Willow still hidden. Hard to hit in the midst of all of this. The hook, it's not going to connect.
Yeah, the tombstone isn't going to help either. No. When you put down the tombstone, you effectively make Pure's job a lot harder. They defend though. They forced out. So what did they get out of that? A cheese and an Aeon Destruct. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Right.
Well, the cheese. And they stall.
Absolutely.
Whittling away at the Aegis timer. 2.5 minutes left. Talon will technically have a little moment of opportunity here with their Midases, where they can immediately Midas 2 tier 5 neutral items and then push high ground while still having Aegis for a minute and 20. If they do want to try to get that little advantage there, items is a possibility.
Radiant's
Oh
middle
no.
tower is not
And they
doing
use
well.
the cheese. They can't make the block of cheese now. Oh, I know. I hear you, crowd. Not happy about that one.
Yeah, it actually has You're right.
No.
They're kind of close. Well, there might be another Roche, you know.
Yor pulls in one. Tornado. All right, Wind Waker away. I see how this is going. And yeah, now he just throws out some more in the Shadow Realm.
Radiant's middle tower
Even when you
has
get him,
fallen.
you didn't really get him. So somehow you have to time the hook with Shadow Realm wearing out, and you can get the Dismember after you break the Lincolns as he's flying through. Did I get that right?
I love rocket science. My favorite subject.
60 minutes. Come out. See what Talon managed to claim for themselves.
Yep. Go. All right, already a stacked Ancient Camp for Jab, so should get at least one item here unless he's very unlucky. We'll get one there. Take it for himself.
Also claims one. BetBoom out on the side of the map, trying to get themselves a couple of items. No Midas in hand.
He grabs one.
Oh, Book of Shadows for the Ench.
mirror shield is so good against Pudge too on jabs, right? Like, you have so much freedom when you jump in on this taunt.
3.
This one melee creep trying to get vision. Oh,
They got him again. Do they have anything to follow it up? Does not appear so. A dead shot. Still sitting with the Lincolns. Right on top. Maybe go for the easier target. Q is there. They'll jump if they want. Hook not nearly where they needed it to be. Now the tornado, but then another walk away, and now they step forward. The Hex connects Makoto. They back out. You're low. You're in trouble. Dead. Does have buyback. They're gonna find anything else. Nightfall starts spraying.
he popped his ult and BKB there, so that's one down. Has to swap out the Mjolnir and get Refresher ready.
Bill just cannot touch 23 Savage. Not have an angle on this guy. Playing it so safe and still sitting pretty with everything. 4 staffs forward. Again, Wind Waker pulls him back, and now the Tornado. They are not buying back on Pudge, though, so there's no chance for a kill. Dealing some more damage. The Hex is there. They bring him down low. Toronto, Tokyo in the grave.
It's middle towers.
Talon, they've got to what feels like an unbeatable point now. There's still 50 seconds left on this Pudge. He buys back at this point. GPK. It's the Tornado lift up. Toronto, Tokyo wants to find him. But the Wind Waker, the walk away, he's back in the Shadow Realm. There's no point to hit this guy. The hook not going to connect. And Talon just sitting pretty right outside the base saying, come hit me, I dare ya. Managed to find this hook. Now Tokyo right in front of him. No, the Wind Waker away. The hook not going to connect. It just doesn't seem fair.
It's like Pudge Wars. That one team has every item, and the other one has one Pudge. I mean, Lilith's not... Yeah, it's tough, man. Like, I'm just sitting here in silence waiting for them to somehow connect something, but it's borderline impossible.
Now they find Toronto, Tokyo. It doesn't seem like they even care. The Hex was there, but they buy another Lincolns in a second. He's out. I mean, this is definitely some disgusting stuff you're going to see in your pubs. And it feels like the only thing that's going to be a limiting factor is 23 himself. Like him messing up and somehow getting caught.
Yeah, but he is think of how crazy of a safety net he has, right?
Yeah.
He has Wind Waker, Pike, Lincoln's PKB, and Dawn ulti with Ags. Like, what more can you possibly want for a safe siege except an Aegis? Tornado? They hexed him, but he got Worm off.
Okay, and now he runs away. It's Ex Machina for the Pudge, so they managed to get a couple of items while this is going on. Jabs, jumps forward, finds it. Toronto, Tokyo in trouble, ends up being brought down.
That's right.
Looking for something, anything. Can they connect onto him? Jabs, again, gets saved by Noah. 23 Savage! He went to save Jabs! And now he gets caught. Wait, 23 Savage brought back. If he dies again, that could be it. Jabs, Sunny's right! Almost dead, he falls! Disarm onto Q. Signs of life in what felt like a hellscape that was the Radiant base.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Patience is the name of the game, and they finally got a bit impatient there and went in too far with the Willow, trying to save Jabs. He will buy back, though. They know they have a 5-on-4. This is
Tower is under attack.
quite aggressive.
Yeah, it very much is. I mean, again, an interesting decision to go in at this point. Disarm onto all of them. Goes for the hook, finds him. Now tries to back out, and it's a Dawnbreaker ultimate. It's scary. Makoto chasing, hunting. Nightfall gets stunned. Is it going to be long enough duration? Oh, the damage is coming out from Nightfall. It's so strong. Already a couple gone. Jazz doesn't have buyback. Throws out the Terrorize. The connection is there. Pure needs to back out, wanting to bring down anybody. As they retreat, GPK still on the hunt. The Hex, he immediately found him. GPK is pissed. He wants more. Can they find him? Tornado, lift up. I'm not done with you yet. Get back over here. The Hex comes out, but do they have friends? Can they get there in time? Slowed down. Hook not going to be on the mark. Nightfall chasing. Has a dead shot ready. They don't want to chase out of the base.
God, that was so expensive for Talon. I mean, sure, you don't lose anything critical in terms of any structures, but effectively a window now open for BetBoom. The question is, considering how extremely precise they need to combine their spells to find these kills, it's one thing to do it in your base. How do you do it when you go out on the map and you don't have vision and position advantage, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now you have a couple of targets that are really juicy to find. All three cores of the enemy team have expended their buyback, so finding any of them is enormous, but that's the key word here, is finding them, right? It's so difficult to get it set up, but should BetBoom somehow manage, they might just be saving this from about, I think it was about 20,000 net worth disadvantage just a moment ago, turned to 6.
I mean, that is the thing, right? Like, they expended so much on the side of Talon, and what did they get for it? A range Rax.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was not what they needed. Another key item that gets picked up at this point, 23 has finished the Revenant's Brooch, so a way to connect onto Nightfall and try and bring him down. But it's like what you said, if you manage to find one of these heroes, it could be an issue. If Talon ever get a little bit too separated, oh wait, Roche? Nightfall goes for it, okay.
No, this is just a clean.
There's no way you get here.
It's actually oh, man.
So they managed to claim it. There is a refresher shard still in, which Toronto Tokyo is going to pick up now. And that buyback status that you're talking about, there's a large window here. Let's see what BetBoom can do. Talon.
They have to solve their waves. Their bottom wave is way too big. It's actually going to take the lane of Eric's if they don't go there.
Everybody runs out from BetBoom. Somehow we got another one. Who would have thunk it?
This one is an 8-minute game, Gabe. This is a 78-minute.
You think so?
Might be longer, actually. It's going to be difficult for Talon to end, right? Because they spent these buybacks, and now they're against a Roche advantage.
Right.
So you're probably just chilling, right? I don't think... They don't have much interest in going aggressive, and if BetBoom try to push, good luck, you know?
No, absolutely.
And it's so difficult to push into this Willow, into this Marcy catch, into the Ench, just throwing impetuses with huge damage from range. The smoke screen that you can't save people in, like...
You know, I'm going to be honest. I'm like, you know, anticipating that Talon are going to come away with this. You see the craziness from the Dark Will and all that. But I just went through the realization that if BetBoom, we might have another game like this that happens afterwards.
Yep.
I don't know if,
definitely not out of the question.
Well, they're up on the high ground.
Okay, give me your best take. How do you push?
How do you push?
Yeah. How do you get to place all 5 BetBoom heroes perfectly? Let's say they can go wherever they want. How are you going to place them?
Nightfall up front and center, which is tough because Punch has the Aegis, because he doesn't have buyback. You have Undying right behind him. Willow is tagged onto him there, and then you get the double hit because Willow's 25. But no! Instead, just step up, and that's already a tier 3 tower gone. Wait a minute now, the hook, the connection, shield, he's in trouble! Oh, BetBoom, have you actually done it?
There's a buyback. This is one of the 2 heroes that still has one. That went way better than I expected on the first high ground. That's quite inspiring, honestly, from BetBoom to see this happening. Okay!
Nightfall, get out of there! But the cheese, the save come out from the Isle. Pure, he's in no man's land. One more damage there. Look at the Desolator! The hit's coming in from the Isle. GPK comes out, goes for the disarm, and then the back away. Pudge, back alive again, needs to BKB, needs to escape. The trick to the trade, chasing, they're waiting for Makoto. Want this moment, and they find him. Is it going to be enough damage? Yes! They take down Makoto. Can they get any more, though? Nightfall, the hook, again. Pure, he's on his man. Can they bring down this Willow? Goes for this to walk away. And the damage coming out. The Isle is doing so much of it. Save and Nightfall doing it all together. But they managed to kill off that Martin. Now the buyback. Looks for more Toronto Tokyo with his axe. He's so freaking tanky. One that's undying. 10,000 HP on Toronto Tokyo. Looking for more. BetBoom, they're gonna claim the game. How do you do that? How?
Radiant victory!
You were right, Gabe. It didn't reach 70 minutes. It was close. It was very, very close. Holy shit. I actually can't believe BetBoom just ended it like that. Given how difficult